Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that can single-handedly make or break your videos. Lighting. Specifically, we're going to master the classic three-point lighting setup using LED lights. This is the foundation of professional-looking video, and by the end of this tutorial, you'll know exactly where to place your key light, fill light, and backlight to get stunning results every single time. So, if you've ever wondered how to get that cinematic, polished look, you're in the right place. Let's get those lights set up. First up, let's talk about the star of the show, the key light. As the name suggests, this is your main, most powerful light source. Its job is to illuminate your subject and create the primary shape and dimension. So, where does it go? The classic position for a key light is about 45 degrees to the side of your camera and about 45 degrees above your subject's eye level, pointing down at them. Think of it like this. If your camera is at 6 o'clock, your key light would be at either 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Why this specific angle? Placing it off to the side creates subtle shadows on one side of the face. This is a good thing. These shadows create depth and contour, preventing your subject from looking flat and one-dimensional. The height is also crucial. By placing it above eye level, you're mimicking natural light sources like the sun, which creates shadows that look natural and flattering. If you place it too low, you get that spooky, telling a ghost story with a flashlight look, which we generally want to avoid unless it's for a specific creative effect. Now, a common mistake is using a bare, harsh LED light. This creates hard, unflattering shadows with sharp edges. The secret is to make your key light a large, soft light source. The easiest way to do this is with a softbox. A softbox is an attachment that goes over your LED panel and diffuses the light, spreading it out and softening the shadows. If you don't have a softbox, you can get creative. Try bouncing the light off a white wall or a large piece of white foam board. The goal is to make the light source as big and as soft as possible. This will give you a gentle, wrapping light that looks incredibly professional. Remember, the key light sets the entire mood and feel of your shot, so take your time to get it right. Okay, so we've placed our key light and our subject is illuminated. But you'll notice one side of their face is bright and the other side is in shadow. For some dramatic looks, this might be what you want. But for most standard interviews, corporate videos, or YouTube content, those shadows can be a bit too intense. That's where our second light comes in, the fill light. The purpose of the fill light is exactly what it sounds like. It fills in the shadows created by the key light. It's not meant to eliminate the shadows completely. We still want that depth, but to soften them and reveal more detail on the darker side of the face. So, where do we place it? You'll position the fill light on the opposite side of the camera from your key light. If your key light is at 4 o'clock, your fill light will be around 8 o'clock. It should also be at a similar height to your subject, around eye level. Now, here's the most important rule for the fill light. It must be less intense than your key light, a lot less intense. A good starting point is to set your fill light to about 50% of the brightness of your key light, or even less. If your fill light is too bright, it will cancel out the shadows from the key light, and you'll end up with a very flat, uninteresting image. You will lose all that beautiful modeling and dimension we worked so hard to create with our key light. You can control the intensity of the fill light in a few ways. Most modern LEDs have a dimmer knob, which is the easiest method. Just dial it down until the shadows are softened to your liking. Another way is to move the light further away from your subject. The further the light, the less intense it will be. You can also use a smaller softbox on your fill light, or even just a diffusion panel, to keep it softer than the key. The key takeaway is to use the fill light to control the mood. A little bit of fill creates a more dramatic, high-contrast look. More fill creates a brighter, friendlier, more open look, which is great for a lot of online content. Experiment with the brightness to find the perfect balance for your video style. We have our key light creating shape and our fill light managing shadows. Our subject is looking pretty good from the front, but they might look a little stuck to the background. They don't pop. To solve this, we introduce our third and, in my opinion, most magical light, the backlight. The backlight, sometimes called a rim light or a hair light, is placed behind the subject, pointing towards them and towards the camera. Its job is to create a subtle, bright outline around the subject's hair and shoulders. This thin line of light is what separates them from the background, creating a sense of depth and a three-dimensional feel. It's what gives your footage that professional cinematic polish. Without a backlight, your subject can blend into the background, making the image feel flat. So, where do we put it? You'll want to place it behind your subject, high up on a light stand, and angled down towards the back of their head and shoulders. It should be positioned on the same side as your key light or directly behind your subject. The key is to make sure the light itself is out of the camera's frame. You only want to see the effect of the light, not the source. Be careful not to point it directly into your camera lens, as this will create a massive lens flare, which can be a cool effect, but is usually distracting. You might need a flag or the barn doors on your LED light to block the beam from hitting your lens directly. As for intensity, the backlight's brightness depends on the look you're going for and your subject's hair color. For darker hair, you might need a brighter backlight to make it visible. For lighter or blonde hair, you need to be much more subtle to avoid making it look like their hair is glowing or overexposed. Start with a low intensity and gradually increase it until you see a nice, clean separation. The backlight is truly the secret sauce that takes your lighting from good to great. So, let's do a quick recap of our three-point lighting setup. First, the key light. Placed at a 45-degree angle to the side and 45 degrees up, it's your main, softest, and brightest light, creating shape and dimension. Second, the fill light positioned on the opposite side of the camera. It's less intense and serves to soften the shadows created by the key light, controlling the contrast ratio. And third, the backlight, placed behind the subject and high up. It creates a rim of light that separates your subject from the background, adding that crucial third dimension. Once you have these three lights in place, don't be afraid to fine-tune everything. Small adjustments can make a huge difference. Try moving the key light slightly more to the side for a more dramatic, shadowy look, or raise it higher for deeper shadows under the nose and chin. Adjust the fill light's intensity to change the mood from dramatic to high-key and bright. Play with the backlight's position and power to perfect that beautiful edge. And remember, these are guidelines, not unbreakable rules. Once you understand what each light does, you can start breaking the rules for creative purposes. Maybe you want a very dramatic look, so you'll use just a key light and a backlight with no fill at all. This is called low-key lighting. Or maybe you want a super bright, shadowless look for a beauty tutorial. In that case, you might use two soft lights from the front at equal intensity and skip the backlight. The three-point setup is your fundamental building block. Master it, and you'll have the power to shape, light, and create any mood you can imagine. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this breakdown of three-point lighting was helpful and demystified the process for you. The best way to learn is by doing, so grab your lights, find a subject even if it's just yourself, and start practicing. You'll be amazed at how much your videos improve. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials on how to make your videos look amazing. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what topic you'd like me to cover next. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.